Hi, I'm Tim from My Engineering. Today I want to talk about what I believe is the best kind of seal for leak repair enclosures. My favorite seal setup looks like this. On the split line, we run a single perimeter injection groove on one half of the enclosure. On each bore, we put an inner graphite rope packing seal, then a center injection groove, followed by an outer graphite rope packing seal. And finally, we add void fill injection ports on the outside of the enclosure, but we don't drill them through right into the cavity. So here's how this seal works and why I like it so much. The rope packing is required to create a barrier, not to seal the leak itself. While there are many types of static seals, graphite rope packing is my default choice because it's stiff, but still compresses nicely against the object it's landing on. Also, graphite rope packing can handle minor imperfections such as flat spots, high spots, or low spots. And it also has a bit of elasticity, so if it gets bumped a bit during installation, that typically won't damage the seal enough to cause a problem. The graphite packing is needed because on the bores of the enclosure, there's always a little bit of clearance, typically around a 1/16 or 1/8 on diameter, which allows the enclosure to slide onto the pipe. So to take up that little gap, we need a static seal, or else the enclosure would be very loose and the sealant would extrude out everywhere. So the packing compresses against the pipe, and then injectable sealant is pumped in between the two static seals, which takes up all the gaps and imperfections, and then it forms the seal to contain the leak. That covers leakage through the bores. On the perimeter, there is no gap, so the packing grooves are not needed. The split lines come completely together, and then the sealant is injected into the perimeter groove, which stops fluid from leaking out in that direction. Now, the final piece is the void fill injection ports I mentioned. I like to include them on every enclosure, but leave them undrilled. I do this because it gives you a backup plan if your perimeter seal does not work. Sometimes leaks can be tricky, especially in the case of certain surfaces like hydrogen. So having a secondary sealing mechanism, such as a void fill, can be a lifesaver if the primary seals don't work. I typically opt to leave the holes drilled blind and not to drill them through into the cavity initially. The reason for this is to eliminate any additional leak paths and to eliminate the need for extra injectors, which can cost around $100 a piece, so that can add up fast. So in summary, I like this seal because it's simple, robust, flexible, and it works. Thanks for watching. If you have a different approach or you want to share your favorite sealing method, drop a comment below or reach out. I'd love to hear from you.